What I have found in my experience to be most successful is developing a realistic budget and knowing exactly what my needs are. So I've typically developed a budget in the past with my must-haves and my likes-to-haves, but I've always approached senior leadership with what my true needs are, and then again, we've taken the conversation from there. But just remember, too, you know, a lot of times on these well talks, we talk about reporting up, sharing your successes, all of those things. This is one of the reasons why, because when budget time comes around, leadership's going to remember what kind of created that most buzz among employees, what were the most successful programs, and they're going to be the ones that are most likely going to be funded again. So I'm just curious, besides your name, there is, well, actually in the chat window, there's a green check mark. You're going to see a raised hand, a green check mark, a red X. We use these as interactive features. So if you do have a question, even through today's Well Talk, as I mentioned, you can ask through the chat window, or you can raise your hand. It's your preference, or just verbally speak up. But I would love to get a sense of how many of you currently spend time developing a budget each year. And if you can, just check that green check mark in the check window. It'll appear right beside of your name. So if you do, how many of you spend time developing a budget? And just feel free to check that green check mark. I'd love to see what we have going on with this group.
Do you see the green check mark?
All right, so I see about 9 of you. I hear a couple of questions. Okay, perfect. So there is about 11 of you on the call today that really spend time developing a budget each year. That's great. If you wouldn't mind, I'd love to know what you've done to be successful with some of those things that we've just talked about, with getting your budget approved, renewed, maybe getting more additional costs. So if you wouldn't mind sharing, that would be great. I'd love to hear, or you can just, again, respond through the chat window.